Well, go do something a little different in this video. There's not going to be any scroll saw in it, I don't think. What I've got here, I'm going to try guitar repair. Guitar is one of my many hobbies. I'm not a great guitarist, but I enjoy playing with it. And what's happened is the nut on this guitar has broken right here. Got knocked over. I believe the cat's probably knocked it over and chipped the end of that off that holds that string in place. So I got me a new one here, and I watched a YouTube video on how to do this. So we're going to try this, and I'll be right back when I get this ready to do the next step. I got to take these strings off. So then we'll look at it from there. Okay, I've got the strings off, and this next step was supposed to be to take the old nut off, and that's supposed to be glued on there. In this case, when I loosened the strings on this side, it just popped off, so I didn't have to do that. Normally you have to make sure you don't pull any wood fibers as you knock it off. Well, it wasn't glued very good, plus this has already been cut. There's a little slot cut right there, so I didn't have to worry about pulling these wood fibers up the headstock. Now the issue at this point is we have a slot there and not just a level spot, and these aren't exactly the same width. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take this and I'm going to use some sandpaper on the top of this table, and might be a piece of glass there, and sand that down so it fits in that slot, and then I'll put it in and check for height, for the string height, and may have to sand the bottom of it a little bit to adjust that, and then we'll glue it in. That's the plan, but right now I've got to get this down to the same thickness as this. So that's what I'm going to work on now. Okay, so I've managed to get that to fit down in the groove, just like the old one. It fits down there just perfectly now. It took me quite a while to kind of sand that down. That's supposed to be made out of bone. Whether it really is or not, I don't know. But what I'm doing now is I got that one string on, and I'm going to use that as a test. I want to be able to slide a business card, but that's a little loose. I'd like that to be a little tighter than that. Not a lot, but a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off and sand the bottom of it so it'll lower that just slightly. So let me work on that, and we'll see if we can get that done. Okay, so I've sanded the bottom of that a little bit, got it down in as far as it's supposed to go. I'm really close. I think I'm going to go with that for now. It's there's a little bit of a drag there. I don't want to get too close, and I'll play it a little while, see how I like it. And I may have to adjust that again, but I'm going to go with that for now. So I'm going to glue that on with some wood glue, watered down half strength, and play with that a while. And need to change the strings anyway, but I'll wait a little while and see how this is going to work first. But let me glue that on. So I've got a little bit of watered down wood glue in there. I'm going to stick this in, get it seated in there best I can, center it. And I'll use these strings to help pull it down. Make sure I got it centered. I believe it's all centered and seated. Got a little pressure on it there. I'm going to let that set. I'll wipe off that excess. We'll let that set and put strings on it, tune it up, and see how it plays and see if I want to make any changes. So I've got to let that glue set for now. So I double checked it for being centered. Went ahead and put a clamp on it, squeeze a little bit of the glue out from under it. I'm going to leave it like that for a little while and let it sit, and I'll come back and mess with the strings and see if they'll even play. Well, I've restrung the guitar, let it sit back there in the room I normally play in overnight, kind of let it acclimate. But I'm real pleased with the way that came out. It works. The only thing, it may have raised the action ever so slightly. It's already kind of a high action guitar, kind of difficult to play. It's the most difficult one I have, but it's doable. I need to get me some new strings. I may go with a lighter string. I need to clean the fretboard up, do some stuff on it, but it's working really well. Plays about as well as it did before. But so you can watch a YouTube video and repair a guitar. That's a simple repair, but at the same time you got to kind of pay attention to what you're doing. So anyway, there's that. That's my attempt at guitar repair as learned from YouTube. And I just wanted to show you that you can learn how to do that on YouTube. So thank you for watching, and we'll get back to some scroll style stuff.